What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, my name is Katie. Please be sure to check out my channel for weekly yoga videos. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. For today's class, all you need is yourself, but if you would like to use a block or a strap with your practice, go ahead and grab those and meet me back on the mat. We're going to start today's class in toes pose. Now, I know this isn't always really comfortable to be in, but it really does help stretch out the bottoms of our feet. So we're going to tuck our toes, sit onto our heels, and make sure we have all 10 toes tucked underneath us, making sure those pinky edges are into. And then I want you to sit as tall as you can. Taking a moment to breathe here. And you feel the balls of your feet grounding into the ground. Maybe noticing if your feet are starting to talk to you. And I know you might want to feel like, okay, I gotta get out of this pose as soon as possible, but stick with it for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Whew, awesome work. If you would like to, go ahead, tap out your feet, finding yourselves into a tabletop position. And take a moment here to circle your wrist, do clockwise, counterclockwise. Feel free to add your spine to the equation. Just a nice way to warm up the body a little bit here. Tuck your toes, push your hips back and up into space, downward facing dog. Pedal out your dog here, maybe dropping one heel at a time. On your next inhale, come up high into the toes. And as you exhale, bring your hips over towards the right side. So all 4 points are exactly where they are. Maybe your heels are dropping over towards the right, but your hips are also dropping over to the right. So you're feeling a stretch in your entire left side body. Come back through center and switch the side. Dropping the heels over towards the left side of the room. Hips dropping over towards the left side. Hands are exactly where they are, but you're feeling the stretch on the entire right side body here. Feel free to sway forwards and backwards. Let it feel nice for you. And then come back through center. As you inhale, we're going to reach our right leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, step right foot to the outside of right hand. Bring your fingertips just a little bit forward here and sway forwards and backwards. Now notice here, my left leg. I want to try to reach the heel far back as possible, finding extension in this left hip. So not so much bending into this left knee, really driving that left heel, finding extension, swaying hips forward and back. Really getting into the hips here, finding some movement, warming it up. Go ahead, find some stillness here. And then we're going to take a big step with our left foot to the outside of our left hand. Finding ourselves in active squat. I'm going to hold this active squat just for a little bit here. Again, sway side to side. Sway forwards and back. That feels kind of weird, but it's a space to kind of explore. Getting into the hips here. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, straighten the legs, bring your hands towards heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. As you exhale, bring that energy down, back into active squat. Place your hands on the ground, step your left foot back, right foot follows, ending up in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up towards the ceiling, and step it to the outside of your left hand. Same, but different here. Finding a sway in our hips, forwards and backwards, side to side. Do you notice if your right leg is straight as can be? Really thinking about driving that right heel towards the back of the room, helping you find more extension in that right hip. And take a moment, maybe noticing how this might feel a little bit different from the other side. Wherever you are, find some stillness. And then we're gonna take a big step with our right foot to the outside of our left hand. Right hand. Sit down low, active squat. Taking a moment in this active squat. Sway side to side, forwards, backwards. Again, that feels weird, but it's a space to explore. And oh boy, my legs are kind of burning. So I feel it if you feel it too. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, hands come towards heart center, stand up tall. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. And as you exhale, bring the energy down. Active squat. Place your hands on the ground, step your right foot back this time, left foot follows. Find yourselves in downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Rolling ourselves into high plank. Take your time here. Articulate the spine and find a moment to hold into this high plank. Remember how we pulled the heels towards the back of the room? Let's do the same thing here in our plank. Pull the heels towards the back of the room, pull your chest forward, long line of energy. Squeeze your glutes and then push the ground away. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly with control, find ourselves all the way onto the ground. Oscillating cobra, fingertips on 10 and 2. Inhale, roll yourself up. Exhale, roll yourself down. Inhale to rise up. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze and down as you rise. And as you exhale, allow yourself to let go. Go ahead, take a few more at your own breath. Feeling fluid. Feeling openness and freedom. Last one here. Exhale, roll it down. And on your next inhale, find yourselves in locust pose. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together, reaching our toes towards the back of the room. Holding on here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, place your hands on the ground, tuck your toes, push yourselves up into high plank, and then push your hips back and up into space, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, step the right foot towards the outside of your right hand. Drop the left knee down, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, finding the twist. Staying in this twist, can you come up onto your left fingertips? Adding a little bit more height here, something a little bit different. Notice your right foot. Are you pushing it, driving it into the ground, and also scrubbing it back? Scrubbing it so much that it actually helps you lift up, finding ourselves into a low archer's lunge. On your next inhale, we're going to swing this right arm down, reaching it up, finding ourselves in Anjaneyasana. Let this Anjaneyasana be free. Open up the front body. As you exhale, bring your fingertips down towards the ground. Push your hips back and up into space. Modify pyramid pose. Take a second in this modified pyramid pose. Can you feel where your hips are in space? Pulling this right hip back, left hip forward to square. Bend into the right knee. Reach the arms up overhead, high crescent lunge. Sink down deep into your hips, bending into that right knee. Hands can come towards heart center. And then we're going to twist over towards the right, hooking our left elbow to the outside of our right knee. Again, think about finding the twist from your torso. Try not to leverage into your elbow too much. We're really finding the strength in our torso for the twist. You can look down towards the ground or look ahead, but we're gonna start leaning forward so that our left toes become right, and we can bring it to meet our right foot, finding ourselves in a twisted chair. Feel free to stay here, or if you would like to, open up your hands in this twisted position. And you find some length in your spine. And as you exhale, finding additional twist. Inhale, hands come back through heart center, finding ourselves in chair pose, reaching our arms up, sitting down low. Challenging our legs here, our ankle mobility. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, settle in a little bit deeper. Inhale, come up to standing, arms reaching up overhead still. As you exhale, we're gonna fold on over. Inhale to halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your hands down, step your left foot back, and then the right foot into downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, step left foot to the outside of left hand. Drop this right knee down, reach the left arm up overhead, finding the twist. From this twist, maybe come up onto your right fingertips. A little bit more height, a little bit different space. Notice your left foot here. Are you driving into the ground and also scrubbing your left heel back so much that it actually helps lift you up, finding ourselves into this low archer's lunge. Find expansion in your lungs, and then swivel your left arm down and up, finding ourselves into Anjaneyasana. Find spaciousness, find reach, and then as you empty out your lungs, we're gonna bring our fingertips to the ground, push the hips back and up into space, modify pyramid pose. Take in a couple breaths here, settling in, or finding a minor adjustment, pulling this left hip back, right hip forward to help square the hips. Bend into the left knee, reach the arms up overhead, high crescent lunge. Inhale, and as you exhale, sink a bit deeper. Really drive the right heel back towards the back of the room, straightening into that right leg. Hands come towards heart center, and we're gonna hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, finding our twist. Finding the twist from the torso, not leveraging the right elbow onto the left knee too much here. Look down towards the ground or a little bit in front of you. Finding the shift, reaching your head forward, and then your right foot comes to meet your left at the top of the mat into a twisted chair. Can you find a little bit more spaciousness? Think about lengthening the spine and then finding the twist. Feel free to stay here, or if you would like to, open up your arms. Either gazing down at the ground or up at the ceiling. Hands come back through heart center as you inhale, and then finding ourselves into a chair pose. Can you sink a little bit deeper here, maybe just an inch? Thinking about your arms too. Are you able to maybe reach them back a little bit further? Maybe your biceps are actually behind your ears. Breathing here. Inhale, we're gonna reach our arms up as we straighten our legs. And as we exhale, fold forward. Inhale to halfway lift. As you exhale, we're gonna step our right foot back, left foot follows. Downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward, roll yourself into high plank. And as you exhale, take a full push-up. Drop your knees and elbows, look forward. Inhale, pull yourself upward facing dog. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Inhale, reach your right leg up towards the ceiling, right foot to the outside of right hand. Drop the left knee down, reach the right arm up. Gentle twist. Instead of coming up onto your fingertips, we're gonna go straight into that archer's lunge. Inhale. Exhale, sink your hips a little bit deeper this time. Windmill your right arm up towards the ceiling. Find yourselves Anjaneyasana. Maybe a little bit more restricted in this Anjaneyasana here. As you exhale, bring your fingertips to the ground, push your hips back and up. Modify pyramid pose. Bend into your right knee. Reach the arms up. High lunge. Remember when I talked about earlier in the class, bringing your right heel towards the back of the room to help extend your left hip? Really think about doing that here. And then bring your hands to heart center. Bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Find your twist. Think about your shoulders here. Maybe you squeeze them together and depress them down as if you're pulling your head towards the front of the room. Look down at the ground or maybe 2 to 3 feet in front of you. Start leaning towards the top of the mat. And this time, actually lift up your left leg just for a moment. And then we're gonna bring it to meet our right into that twisted chair. Ooh, my right leg was talking there. Feel free to stay here, or if you would like to open up towards a twisted chair. You'll roll that right shoulder back. Look up towards the ceiling, or if you prefer, down at the ground. Bring the hands towards heart center on your next inhale, and then come up through center. Reach the arms up overhead, still into this chair pose. Just changing the arms and where we're looking. Sit down a little bit deeper, inhale. And as you exhale, settle in a little bit more. As you inhale, we're gonna straighten our legs. Keep reaching the arms up overhead, maybe gaze up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, fold on forward. Inhale to halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, right foot follows. Downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, left foot to the outside of the left hand. Drop that right knee down, reach the left arm up overhead. Again, skipping, coming up into your fingertips. We're just gonna come straight into archer's lunge. Find stability in your legs here, and then sink your hips down. Inhale, we're gonna bring the left arm up overhead, Anjaneyasana. A little bit more restricted here, containing the ribs. As you exhale, bring fingertips down. Push your hips up into a modified pyramid pose. Bend into the left knee. Reach the arms up overhead, high crescent lunge. Sink into your hips, bending into that left knee and extending that right heel back. Hands come towards heart center, and then hook that right arm to the outside of your left knee. Finding the twist from your torso, shoulders depressed together on your back body. And imagine you're actually pulling your crown of your head towards the top of the room. Look down towards the ground or 2 to 3 feet in front of you. You know what's coming here. We're gonna lean ourselves forward. Lifting up our right leg just for a second. Can you point your toes maybe? Finding the reach, finding the balance, and then slowly bring the right foot to meet your left into this twisted chair pose. Whew, that's pretty tough. From here, feel free to stay exactly where you are, or if you want to, try opening up your arms. Left shoulder comes onto your back body. Opening up your chest. Imagine you're like about to give somebody a really big hug. As you inhale, we're gonna bring your hand towards heart center, finding ourselves into chair pose. Reach the arms up overhead. Inhale, and as you empty everything out, you sink a little bit deeper, settling into the pose. Take a sip of air.
And settle in one more time. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up overhead. Maybe bring your gaze up. Then as you exhale, we're gonna forward fold. Ooh. Inhale to halfway lift. Plant your hands down, step your right foot back, left foot follows, find yourselves downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Roll yourself into a high plank. And then take your vinyasa. You can take an awakening vinyasa or traditional vinyasa, but wherever you go, we find ourselves in downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, right foot to the outside of right hand. Drop the left knee down, reach the right arm up. Gentle twist. Using the strength of your legs and your core, we're gonna pull ourselves into archer's lunge. From here, I want you to dig your left toes into the ground. And maybe if you can, lift up the left knee. Finding strength and stability here. Are you able to reach your left heel back, extending the left hip? Swivel the right arm up towards the ceiling, finding ourselves into high crescent lunge this time. As you exhale, without using your hands, can you reach your arms back, finding ourselves into modified pyramid pose. Certainly use your hands on the ground if you would like to, but try to challenge yourself where you can. Bend into the right knee, reach the arms up overhead, high crescent lunge. Bringing your hands towards heart center, hook the left elbow towards the outside of your right knee, finding ourselves into the twist. Look down towards the ground, lean yourself forward. We're gonna lift up our left leg, reaching towards behind us. Can you find extension out of that left leg? And then slowly bring it towards to meet the right. Finding ourselves into the twisted chair. Option here if you would like to. Find ourselves into side crow. Plant your hands on the ground. Lift up your feet. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly with control, bring your feet down towards the ground. Reach your arms up, finding ourselves into chair pose. Take a sip of air, and as you let it go, settle in, sink down deep. Inhale, straighten to the legs, reach the arms up. Maybe find a slight back bend, squeeze the glutes, open up the front body. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step left foot back, right foot follows. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up towards the ceiling. Left leg to the outside of our left hand. Drop the right knee down, reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Gentle twist here. Using the strength of our legs and our core, we're gonna pull ourselves up into archer's lunge, low archer's lunge. Stabbing our toes, our right toes into the ground. Can you drive your leg to lift? Finding ourselves into this archer's lunge. Where's your right heel? Can you imagine you're pushing it towards the back wall, finding extension in your right hip? Swivel the left arm down, reach the arms up. This time we're in a high lunge. Contain the core, contain the ribs. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, without using your hands, if possible, swing them back behind you, straighten into both legs, find yourselves into a modified pyramid pose. And you feel your shoulders onto your back body, reach your arms behind you. Everything is active here. Bend into the left knee, reach the arms up overhead, high crescent lunge. Hands come towards heart center, hook the right elbow towards the outside of the left knee, finding that twist. And then from here, look down at the ground. Lean yourself forward. And then if you can, reach your right leg back. Ooh, find the balance. Find the strength. I know it's tough. I'm having a hard time too. We're gonna bring the right foot to meet the left. Find yourselves into the twisted chair. Feel free to stay here, or if you want to try, plant your hands on the ground, find yourselves inside crow. For me, it helps to lift up actually the bottom leg and then the top leg. Finding the hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and set your feet down. Finding ourselves into the chair pose. Inhaling here. And as you exhale, settle in a little bit deeper. I know it's tough work. You're doing great. Use your breath to help settle in and guide you. Inhale, straighten into the legs. Reach the arms up. Maybe a slight back bend here. Squeeze the glutes, push your hips forward. And then as you exhale, all the way down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Right foot steps back, left foot follows. Downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Look forward slowly with control. Find yourselves into a high plank. And then take your vinyasa. Full push up, drop your knees and elbows. Look forward, pulling yourself into upward facing dog. Feel free to linger in this upward facing dog if that feels nice. And then finding yourselves into downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale here. And sigh it all out. Let's do one more. Inhale here. And sigh it all out. Look forward between your hands, whatever way you want to get your feet towards the top of the mat. Feel free to take whatever journey you like. You can do some walks. You can find yourself in a handstand. Or just get up and walk towards the front of the mat. But you have 10 counts to get there. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're at the top of the mat in a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot towards the back of the mat. Drop the left heel down, backstroke your right arm to reach your left foot with your right hand. Feel the shoulder blade onto your back body, and then drive your left foot into your right hand, helping open up your shoulder and your chest. Imagine breathing into your right shoulder, breathing into your left hip. On your next exhale, release the left foot. Square everything off, and then push your hips back, finding yourselves into Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Pull the toes towards your face. Smelt on over your right leg. Breathing here. Bend into your right knee and then step your left foot to meet your right. Find yourselves back into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, this time right foot steps towards the back of the mat. Backstroke your left arm to reach behind you, grabbing the right ankle or foot. Feel the left shoulder onto your back body, and then drive your right foot into your left hand. As you actively drive your right foot into your left hand, this helps open up the chest and open up your left shoulder. Find steadiness in your breathing. On your next exhale, go ahead, release the right foot, square everything off, and then pushing ourselves into Ardha Hanumanasana, pulling the left toes towards our face, length in your spine. Imagine as if you can reach the crown of your head towards the top of the room. And then you can start to fold on over, melting on over the left leg. Bend into the left knee. Step the right foot to meet your left. Out, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale slowly to rise up to stand. Reaching the arms up overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shift the weight over to your right foot. Grab the inside of your left foot or ankle with your left hand and reach your right arm up overhead. We're setting ourselves up for dancer's pose. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, you can start to reach your right arm up and forward as you kick your left foot back and up. Finding a steadiness, but still activity in kicking into your left hand and reaching with your right arm. Leaning us forward as you can muster. Holding here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly with control, rise back up to standing and release your leg down. Moving on to the other side. Shift the weight over to the left foot. Grab the inside of your right foot or ankle with your right hand. Reach the left arm up and overhead. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to start kicking your right foot back and up as you reach your left arm up and forward. Maybe noticing a difference between your rights and your lefts. Does it feel more stable on this side? Does it feel more wobbly? Maybe try shifting your gaze towards the ceiling. Holding here for another 3, 2, 1, and slowly come back to center. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. Come up high onto your toes this time. And then slowly, with as much control, bend into your knees. Slide yourself down an elevator. Finding ourselves sitting onto our heels. Knees are lifted, hands come to heart center. Drop the heels down. Drop your sit bone down. And then slowly with control, finding ourselves all the way onto our back body. Set your feet up for bridge. Drive your feet into the ground. Push your hips up towards the ceiling. And imagine pulling your heels back, activating the hamstrings here. Engaging the core, holding here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back down to the ground. We'll do 2 more like that. Drive your heels into the ground. On your next inhale, push your hips up towards the ceiling. Pull your heels back, scrubbing your heels back, starting to ignite the hamstrings here, engaging the glutes. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release on down. Last one. Push your hips up towards the ceiling. Really pull your heels back here. Really start to ignite the back line of the body. Push your hips up just a little bit higher, but keeping the core engaged, your ribs pulled down, holding here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Go ahead, bring your knees in towards your chest. Give him a big squeeze. Sway side to side. And then release the left leg long. Bring your right knee into your chest. As you exhale, gentle supine twist. Bring the right knee across and over your left side body. Reach the right arm out to a T. Then bring your gaze over your right shoulder. On your next inhale, bring that right knee back into your chest and switch your side. Left knee into our chest this time. Give it a big squeeze. Maybe rock it side to side. Then as you exhale, bring that left knee across and over your right side body. Reach the left arm out to a T. Supine twist. This is your moment to settle in. To let go. On your next inhale, come back through center. One more time, we're gonna bring both knees into our chest. Give it a big squeeze. And then reach your legs up towards the ceiling. If you happen to be by a wall, I recommend bringing your legs towards the wall just so you can relax them there. But if you want to, you can stay exactly here, or if you want to try to move into a soft plow pose, go ahead and do so. And then whenever it calls to you, find ourselves in your Shavasana. Taking in the practice, the moments that stuck out to you, maybe moments that were really hard, really challenging, or maybe moments you notice some growth, some strength. Feeling a sense of gratitude for taking this moment, this time for you. With that, this is where I will leave you for practice today. Again, thank you so much for taking a moment to practice with me, taking the time for yourself. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this practice or something that you would like to see in the near future, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.